World War II was the deadliest conflict in human history. It lasted 6 years, cost over 70 million lives, and redrew the map of the world. But how did the world spiral into another global war just 2 decades after the first? To understand the causes of World War II, we must go back to 1919, to the end of World War I and the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty placed full blame for World War I on Germany. It imposed massive reparations, stripped away territory, and limited its military. Germans saw it not as peace, but as punishment. The instability it created opened the door for extremist ideologies. During the 1920s, Germany faced crisis after crisis. Hyperinflation wiped out savings. Unemployment soared. The Weimar Republic lost credibility. Amid this turmoil, one man rose by promising to restore Germany's pride and reverse the humiliation of Versailles. Adolf Hitler, leader of the Nazi Party, became Chancellor in 1933. By the following year, he had built a dictatorship. His regime promoted extreme nationalism, blaming Germany's problems on Jews, communists, and foreign powers. While Hitler tightened control, the world was distracted. The Great Depression had hit hard. Many countries turned inward, focusing on their economies. Western democracies followed a policy of appeasement, hoping to avoid another war. In 1936, Hitler marched troops into the demilitarized Rhineland. In 1938, he annexed Austria. Europe did nothing. Later that year, Britain and France allowed Hitler to take the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, hoping it would satisfy him. But Hitler wasn't done. In March 1939, he seized the rest of Czechoslovakia. Appeasement had failed. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Using a swift and coordinated attack, Blitzkrieg, German forces quickly advanced. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. Shortly before the invasion, Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Secretly, they agreed to divide Eastern Europe. On September 17, the Soviet Union invaded Poland from the east. By mid-1940, Germany had overrun much of Western Europe. France fell in 6 weeks. Britain stood alone. The Battle of Britain raged in the skies as German bombers targeted London. But under Winston Churchill's leadership, Britain refused to surrender. Then came Hitler's biggest gamble. In June 1941, Germany invaded the Soviet Union. It became the bloodiest front of the war. Millions would die on both sides. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Japan had been expanding aggressively. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor. America declared war on Japan. Days later, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States. The conflict had become truly global. From North Africa to Eastern Europe, from the Pacific Islands to the Arctic Circle, the war engulfed the globe. Cities were destroyed. Millions were displaced. Civilians endured tremendous suffering. And then there was the Holocaust. 6 million Jews, along with millions of Roma, disabled people, and political prisoners, were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime. It was genocide on an industrial scale. In June 1944, Allied forces landed in Normandy. D-Day marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. Soviet forces pushed from the east. Berlin was encircled. On May 8, 1945, Germany surrendered. Hitler was dead. Europe lay in ruins. In the Pacific, Japan still fought on. Then in August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrendered shortly after. World War II was over. The war reshaped the world. Old empires collapsed. New powers emerged. The United Nations was founded, aiming to prevent future global wars. But tensions between the US and Soviet Union would soon lead to the Cold War. World War II showed us the high cost of unchecked ambition, silence in the face of injustice, and failure to act. It is a history we must remember, so we never repeat it.